What is going on? What is going on? It's your boy, Julien Stoutt. Welcome back to the channel, where we use mindset, encouragement, accountability, and nutrition to help you be the best you. We're about to take off and class is in session. For those of y'all who are watching right now, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Go ahead and do me a favor. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, so that way you can get every bit of information that I put out and that the masses could also get this information, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, people. I'm only at 207. I'm at a pathetic 207. I'm trying, people. I'm trying to get my message out there, and you are not helping me get that message out there. I need your help, absolutely. So, first things first, I want to know how you are doing today. Go ahead and put a comment either in the live or put a comment at the time that you watch this video about how is your day going today. Because today mine started off a little shaky, but I'm in a much better mood, and I am looking forward to starting work again tomorrow. Now, it's not official work. This is where I might start getting information on the students that I'll be serving. It will be getting all the stuff, all of my equipment, things of that nature, making sure that I know what I'm doing and how I'm getting it done, and moving on from there. So I'm extremely excited about that. But I got to get up early tomorrow for the first time, and I got to get acclimated because school starts at 7:45. It's going to be rough because summertime. I have not adhered to a particular schedule. I just got up, do what I have to do, and when I stay up until I got what I need to do done, and then I go back to sleep. But now things are about to change, and I am going to make that happen. Also, since we are live and I'm not going to be live on Friday, how many of y'all are going to go see the Fantastic Four movie? I am a little stoked about that. I've been waiting for a good Fantastic Four movie since about, 2000? And hopefully this will be the first of many to come our way and have some enjoyment over it. I like the way the Thing looks. He actually looks like the comic book version of the Thing. He doesn't look like some Mod Podge, rocks all his face, or looking like he's got a bad breakout of the herpes or something. I honestly think that this is probably one of the best versions of the movie that I think we're going to have. So if you guys are going to watch, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat for me. If you are actually going to watch that movie, I already watched Superman. I thought it was great. Only thing I have a complaint about the Superman movie is that there was not enough Clark Kent. I want to see that juxtaposition of who Clark Kent is versus who Superman is. I want to see Clark Kent use his journalistic skills at times. Now, he doesn't need to be full on Batman with it, but he needs to use his journalistic skills from time to time and let me know that that side of him exists. But overall, the movie was fantastic. Shout out to James Gunn for doing this movie. But you see the title and the thumbnails. Without further ado, people, I am not going to waste any more time. We need to have a conversation about body shaming. Okay, first and foremost, for those y'all who don't know who Jennifer Love Hewitt is, Jennifer Love Hewitt is an actress, This is her right here. This is not even, that's probably close to a current photo, but I'm going to share a more recent photo so that you guys can actually see. So this is more of a recent photo of her over here. I'm gonna move my screen off over here. I hate that they do this now, but this is Jennifer Love Hewitt right now. If you want to see an older photo of her, this is what she looked like basically in 2007, as I imagine it. This is a picture of her when she was much, much younger. Clearly like in her early teen, in her mid-teens, mid to, I not even say late teens, but I say her mid-teens. And one of the things that, the reason why I'm bringing up the pictures is not to shame her, actually. I am in full support of her. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show I want that Facebook post that was horrible. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Social media. Shaming. Okay. So I'm going to read this. So this is the article. Should shrink me down a little bit. Okay. Jennifer Love Hewitt fans make incredible suggestion after seeing disgusting comments about her body in new photo. And this is good. The internet can be a wonderful place filled with helpful tutorials, funny viral videos, and a great travel recommendations, just to name a handful of its virtues. However, many of us unfortunately know it can be a pretty grim place, and a lot of the time jam-packed with online creeps, social media sleuths, and internet trolls. I'm going to skip some of this. I want to get to the comment. Jennifer Love Hewitt has been defended by fans following internet trolls' body shaming comments. Many of which showed their sheer stupidity. While many fans praised her look, trolls, some of which were shockingly women themselves, took it upon themselves to offer up their unsolicited opinions of Hewitt's figure. I'm going to start there. Specifically, I'm going to touch on the women because this is the problem that I really have, is the hypocrisy of it all. You have women who cry on social media posts every day about my body is my temple and I do the best that I can with what I have, and quit shaming me. I need to have body positivity, which I am not. Again, I'm not against body positivity. I'm against false positive body imagery, meaning that you are manipulating the masses to avoid accountability for your poor health. I'm making sure you understand what I'm saying. Poor health, not your size, not the shape of your body, but your poor health. So that includes that goes in without saying that there may be some obesity conversations in there, right? But again, when we have those obesity conversations, they should be rooted in love and concern for one's health and well-being, not in ridicule and shame. Yes, I don't particularly feel good when I put on weight. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about I don't feel, not just from a health standpoint, I don't feel good, but I'm talking about from a personal standpoint. I don't feel good when I look at myself in the mirror and I can pinch rolls on my stomach. It doesn't feel good on me. I personally don't like it. And I don't think many people like it. But again, I'm not a woman. I don't need to be 17% body fat to function. While I'm also 48 years old, Jennifer Love Hewitt is 46. Me getting down to 10% body fat is an effort. Okay? It's an effort. I'm not just talking about, oh, I work out. It's an effort. I have to be extremely mindful. I have to be extremely careful. I got to put in extreme care and sensibility about what I put into my body as well as how much I put out. With that being said, how dare y'all? And the worst part is I'm not even going to show you the post itself unless it's on here. But the post itself was by a woman who actually is in a physical condition worse than Jennifer Love Hewitt, if you want to consider Jennifer Love Hewitt's condition bad to begin with. I don't consider it bad, but what I'm saying is that if you're going to be judgmental, at least damn it look better than the person you're judging. Okay? Seriously. Be in much better shape overall than the person you're judging. Then at least we could just call you an asshole. We don't get to laugh at you for being delusional on top of being an asshole. I want you to understand the difference. I mean, that's like Rasputia making fun of Biggie Smalls. How's that going to work? How you going to be the same size, if not bigger than somebody, and clown them for being the size that they are? I don't understand that for the life of me. I don't condone it, but let's use some logic and let's use some common sense here. If somebody is going to be trying to shame anybody, it should be somebody who fits the description of quote unquote physical, I wouldn't call it perfection, but they're well engaged in physical activity. They're well engaged in the sense that their body fat percentage is highly lean. But yet, here we are, looking like how we look, and then trying to shame somebody for how they look when they actually looked better than you. And I have to come to the conclusion that maybe these women that are trying to shame her are people who felt some type of way of how they were being measured by her, or measured to her when she was younger. Because yes, Jennifer Love Hewitt was very thin. She was thin. That doesn't mean she was healthy. Okay? Just because you weigh 105 pounds doesn't mean you're healthy. Just because you weigh 110, 120 doesn't mean you're healthy. Please understand that. I want people to understand that body shaming is one of the most abhorrent things that we do in our society. Making fun of somebody because of how they're built at the current time, making fun of them, is not cool. Now, there are people who are self-aware about their body size, right? And they want you to laugh with them about some of the inequities that they experience on a day-to-day basis. So for instance, not being able to fit into a specific type of pants, or looking ridiculous in a particular type of outfit, right? However, that does not mean we shame them for being the size that they are. You try your best to support them in trying to be much better in their health. And if they make it, they make it. If they don't, leave it alone. Unless you are their loved ones that is concerned for their actual health because you have pertinent information about their health, or you are a genuine professional and based on objective observation, you can determine that person A, B, C, or D is not healthy. Kind of like Gabourey Sidibe was not healthy. Lizzo was not healthy. Was not. Are they now? I haven't seen Gabourey Sidibe since she had her baby, but I do know, in fact, she did lose a significant amount of that weight that she had when she first became famous from the movie Precious. I'm just pointing that out. She herself is not meant to be a tiny woman. She's built to last. So is Lizzo. And clearly, Jennifer Love Hewitt has been demonstrating that her body is built differently now. Especially, ironically, when it has been shown that she has had 3 children. Remember when I told you that pregnancy is its own form of puberty. You are being inundated and undulated with a whole host of hormones that influences your body to do certain things a certain way. So while Jennifer Love Hewitt at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old was a size 0, size 1, size 2, maybe up to a size 4. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but I'm going to stop at 4. If she was any of those numbers, that was prior to her having children. Now, I'm sure we have seen her since, like when she was on The Ghost Whisperer. I believe she had already had her first child by then. I'm speculating at this point. She was in still relatively comparable shape to when she first got, when I would say first got famous, but when she first became a household name. But again, that's child number 1. You go ahead and indulate your body with more hormones 2 times over and see what it does. And on top of that, she's 46. She's not 26. She's not 16. She's 46 years old. It gets harder and harder to maintain one's body composition through mere diet and moderate exercise. If Jennifer Love Hewitt, let me put it like this. Based on the pictures I've seen of Jennifer Love Hewitt currently, unless she is trying to go be a DC or Marvel superhero, her body's just fine. Leave her alone. And I said superhero, not a character. I'm saying specifically a superhero. If she is not trying to be of that body type, guess what? Leave her alone. She's just fine the way she is. She is not trying to be the quote unquote girl next door no more. She's the mom next door. And I'm not saying that disparagingly. I'm a grandpa next door. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not taking that to be as an affront. I'm being honest. She's the mom next door now. Why are you coming for her like as if she's trying to take your man? Ladies, why? Many of which showed their sheer stupidity and ignorance, even as they posted side-by-side snaps of the 46-year-old mother of 3, now next to when she was quite literally a teenager decades ago. 30 years ago. We're talking about 1995 when she was on Party of 5. When she was starring in I Know What You Did Last Summer, literally in 97, 98, 99. Not the new one that she's in, mind you, but the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. Thankfully, scores of fans fought back against such ridiculousness, and I know. So here's the picture of her. It's a little transposed because it's making her look real short and wide, and that's not it. Her hips are wide. And let me tell you something. Again, y'all better watch yourselves, because the truth be told is there's a commentary that we black men like to make about women, that we can see that you're thick from the front, right? And what that means is a compliment, ladies. I want y'all to understand that. And for those of y'all who don't understand that compliment, it is a compliment. When we see that you're thick from the front, what that suggests is that we know that your hips are wide and that there's some gluteal maximus action going on behind you that we like to see as you walk away. Now, I'm not saying I've not seen Jennifer Love Hewitt's backside. I'm not trying to look for it. However, we in the thick man's community, we like our women thick. Those of us who like our women thick, we will see Jennifer Love Hewitt coming down the block and we will be like, hey, and I'm talking about 46-year-old Jennifer Love Hewitt. So that means, guess what? At every stage of her life, she has something that a man wants. How does that make you feel, ladies? The ones that ridiculed her, how does that make y'all feel? That made fun of her and was like, oh, girl, you don't look the same. Whatever stupid comments that they said. How does that make you feel now? Because guess what? Again, at every stage of her life, she is meeting the physical requirements that many men are attracted to. Yeah, when she was skinny on Party of Five and when she was all, toothpick-like as a teenager, when her metabolism was on steroids at that point, and I mean not literal steroids, but, on furnace. She was active, she was out and partying and doing her thing and running around all day, all night, dancing until God knows when and all that stuff. And yeah, and then performing on top of that. Yeah, you're going to be skinny. And I'm going to get into the explanation of how Jennifer Love Hewitt might have gotten to where she is now as compared to when she was 16. This information that I'm going to put out actually applies to everyone, not just her. Okay? So a second hit out. Jennifer Love Hewitt has survived 2 decades of Hollywood, horror movies, and low-rise jeans. And y'all think your opinion on her body matters? If your first reaction to seeing a woman with a healthy, aging body is to shame her, the problem isn't her body, it's your brain. 100% I agree. She is not obese by any means of the imagination. What you're seeing is, first of all, if you actually look close enough, her leg is tilted. She has her leg canted in, right? So what that does is that covers the appearance of how narrow or wide her thighs are. She's got wide hips now. Again, you push out 3 kids out of your pie hole and see what happens. Again, I literally last live stream explained how a woman's hips widens after having children. Because of what and why? If you haven't seen it, go back to one of my previous videos. It's in there, I promise you. It amazes me how many people criticize Laminated Another. These people think their opinions matter. We are all just a speck in time in an endless universe. Make it great and stop the hate. Okay, I understand that. It's not that your opinions don't matter, right? It's intelligent opinions that should matter. Not dumb opinions, not opinions rooted in stupidity, not opinions rooted in ignorance. If I'm not mistaken, Jennifer Love Hewitt is maybe 5'1" max. Let me look that up real fast. Jennifer Love Hewitt is 5'2". 5 feet, 2 inches tall. That's it. Okay? But anyway, the discourse on Jennifer Love Hewitt and her body is disgusting. I agree. I'm not saying that finding her attractive or not finding her attractive is disgusting. I think if you find her attractive, that's fine. If you don't find her attractive, that's also fine. That's your preference. However, talking about her in such a way where you're being disrespectful when her existence does not warrant disrespect, nobody's existence warrants disrespect. It's no different. I mean, I'm gonna give you an analogy so y'all understand where I'm coming from. Talking about the complexion of a person simply because they exist is disgusting. Now, talking about the complexion of somebody because they changed their complexion is a different story. How they came about changing their complexion is a concern or a question that you're free to ask. However, simply going like you don't know this person and all of a sudden they walk past you and you're like, good Lord, they're white. Good Lord, they're black. Yeah, dang, son. That in of itself is where we start getting into the category of disgusting. Talking about somebody's size when it didn't warrant it. Are they is that person your mom? Is that person your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your very close friend? Is that where they are in your life? If they're not in there in your life, mind your freaking business. I almost cursed just now, but mind your business. Because nothing pisses me off more than people trying to shame somebody who probably on their worst day looks better than you. I just want to make sure you understand that. Jennifer Love Hewitt is 46 years old. That's 46. That's better than that's better than a lot of people, okay? I don't know if she works out or not. I'm assuming that she does go to the gym at the very least, she goes to the gym to at least maintain some variation of her health. But this is a normal woman's body. This is not a Hollywood body. I'll give you that. But that's a normal woman's body. And she's choosing to be normal. She doesn't want to do cosmetic surgeries. She doesn't want to do excessive dieting. She wants to enjoy her life. She doesn't want to turn around and try to snap the necks of every man on the planet, although she's probably still snapping a few necks, okay? That's not the point. The point is she looks like a normal woman. Why are we trying to shame her? I thought that the whole Hollywood inclusion thing was to bring normal looking women bodies so that way young girls can feel good about what they look like, as opposed to trying to create some unrealistic standards for young girls to follow. I thought that's what we were trying to do. I thought that's what the whole purpose of this whole body positivity movement was supposed to be. But here y'all go, trying to shame her for having a normal woman's body. I'm sorry. Yes, there are the Halle Berrys out there that don't look like she's 57 years old. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, man. But yeah, Viola Davis, who looks phenomenal when she's in full physicality mode. You know, all these other famous actresses that actually put themselves through the ringer to look a certain way for a movie role. I guarantee you they don't look like that in their everyday life. But Jennifer Love Hewitt was like, look, I know what you did last summer. I'm not being chased. And if I am being chased, I'm going to die. Okay? it's going to be realistic. I'm not going to be sitting here pretending like I'm some Marvel or DC superhero that's jumping out of windows, battle rolling, and pulling out a gun and shoot, pew pewing. No, we're not doing that. We ain't doing none of that right now. And if I decide to do it, then I will put in the time, work, and effort to have that kind of body, so that way I can pull off the role that I've been chosen for. But until then, no. I'm going to look normal. I'm not going to starve myself. I'm not going to turn around and count every single living calorie. I've got 3 kids that I got to help take care of while still being a Hollywood actress on multiple fronts. I'm on TV and I'm in remakes and reboots of films that I previously have been on. So why should I be concerned with my physical nature exactly? Now, despite how good you personally feel Hewitt looks for her age, or considering she had 3 kids, is far from the point. Because realistically, what exactly does a 46-year-old mother of 3 look like? Good question. I am arguing her body changed to a mother of 3 at 46. I'm not suggesting that a mother of 3 at 46 years old has to look a specific way. I'm arguing the point that puberty hits people differently. And when you get pregnant, you go through puberty each time you have a child. And at some point, one of those genetic expressions is going to start expressing. We don't know which aunt or grandparent that she has gotten her hips from. We don't know where she's gotten her build from, but I guarantee you that build is an expression of her since she has had all 3 kids. Okay? The point is that women shouldn't have to fit into a narrow patriarchal. No, I don't want to care about that patriarchal, because that's not patriarchal. Because guess what? It was you women doing it. It wasn't a man doing it. It wasn't the majority of men. I saw the thumbnails. I saw the comments. I saw the original post. It was a lot of women doing it. A lot of women. So don't give me that patriarchal crap. It's patriarchal if it was a bunch of us men sitting back going, oh man, Jennifer love you, and oh man, go. Hemming and hawing about how she looks now as opposed to how she looked 30 years ago. 20 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? If there was a whole bunch of men doing it, then yes, you could throw out the patriarchal nonsense. But then no, you make sure you stick that where it belongs, with you females. Hateful females, okay? And I agree. It shouldn't be a narrow definition of beauty. Like I just told you. We can see her thickness from the front. And that is not a negative. Just letting you know. That is not a negative. So for those of y'all who think that seeing her thickness from the front, meaning how wide her hips are, is a negative, you got another thing coming, buddy. And this goes for any race of women out there. I don't want y'all to specifically think that I'm just talking about white women. I'm talking about all women. When y'all get those hips, and when y'all walking from the front, and we can see your hips from the front, we know something's going. We know there's a party going on in the back. At least we hope there is. Okay. And if there is a party in the back, guess what? Even better. You ain't gonna hear us complaining. If she's got a little cellulite here and there, who cares? She got stretch marks, who cares? She had 3 kids, who cares? Nobody cares. And if you do care, you're pathetic. But I digress. So I'm gonna finish it. A patriarchal definition of beauty or attractiveness in order to garner respect, whether they are a public figure in Hollywood or not. I am inclined to agree. As disheartening as it may feel to watch critics make appalling comments like the ones Hewitt had sadly bore the brunt of, it is very assuring to see just how many people teamed up to take a stand against the relentless policing of women's bodies. To be honest with you, they're just as bad on men. When Taylor Lautner had gained all that weight, last I checked for a role, yeah, not everybody was kind. Everybody was like, ooh. What was his name? Jake? Team Jake is on life support. That's the type of stuff people were saying. Okay? But I digress. Let's move on to the topic at hand. So, I want you guys to understand the variables of Kane. So, the variables of Kane. Kane is trying to get it to move to the next one. So, the variables of Kane, right? You have consumption, appetite, nutrition, and expenditure. These are the qualities that you need to understand on how people manage to gain and or lose or maintain their weight. You need to understand the variables of Kane in order to understand how this works. This is going to be an oversimplified version of it, but understand. Kane, let's start with the C in consumption. Consumption is the component of weight loss or gain that garners the most attention. It is important, but it's not the end all be all. Everybody focuses on what they put into their body. How much food I'm eating, how much calories did I put in, right? It may not be the end all be all. How many calories you consume matters, because if you either accumulate too much or too little, depending on the remaining variables of Kane, you will gain or lose weight respectively. Now, think about Michael Phelps and his 10,000 calorie a day diet. Yet he was as lean as an ironing board. Okay? How did he manage to pull that off? Look at all that he was doing. He was boxing, he was swimming, he was lifting weights, he was boxing, he was swimming, he was lifting weights. And many of the times, all three in the same day. Okay? How is it that he could consume that many calories and not gain a pound of body fat? Well, that's because of the A and E in Kane. So let's move on. Appetite, one of the most overlooked components. If recognized but it is recognized but highly misconstrued. A lot of people think that because somebody has a big appetite that they're going to be fat or obese or overweight, whichever version of the story you want to call it. But that's not necessarily the case. This is where most assumptions are made about the body composition of people who are overweight or obese. They think that anybody who's overweight or obese has a really big appetite. Not true at all. Again, it plays a role, but it is a factor of determining how one should consume calories as opposed to judging how one is healthy or not. How often you eat is not the issue per se. It only becomes an issue if you overindulge in consumption while lacking nutrition and expenditure, right? Next, nutrition. This is also important. Of the variables, this one is most disregarded. If you're not maintaining a balance of nutrients, both macro and micro, your ability to lose, gain, or maintain weight will be extremely difficult. This is where carbs, fats, proteins, along with vitamins, minerals, and water are measured. A person who is not in a sufficient standing in any of these factors will struggle mightily in their fitness goals. You want to lift weights, get swole. If you don't have enough protein in your diet, guess what? You ain't going to get swole. If you don't eat enough carbs, you're not going to have enough energy to be swole or to perform to be swole. You're going to wither away. You're going to waste away. If you don't have enough fats in your diet, you cannot store the proper amount of micronutrients that are the 8X, which is A, D, E, and K, the fat-soluble vitamins. And on top of that, you will not have reserve energies when your carbohydrates fail you, if at all. Expenditure. While it is the most regarded, it is the least practiced. TDEE or total daily energy expenditure is the total amount of energy given away on a daily basis. First part of TDEE is BMR, or basal metabolic rate, is what your body needs, the bare minimum, to function. The more muscle density you have, the higher your BMR. Next is your NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy you burn just living. Whether it's grocery shopping, walking around your home, or playing with your children, this is where NEAT lives. Lastly is EAT, or exercise activity thermogenesis. This is where exercise comes in. The more you exercise, the more energy you burn, the harder the workout, the more energy you use. In conjunction with the other three variables, this is how one manipulates their weight and body composition. So to keep it simple, consumption is about food and calories. Appetite is about times of day you are consuming, like how often you are eating. Nutrition is the quality of elements you consume. And last but not least, expenditure needs to be fixed. Let me fix that real quick. Exercise, plain and simple. These are the four quadrants of Cain. These are the quadrants of Cain. And if you embrace this, this is how we get to where we get to. So, guys, I appreciate your time. So I'm going to land this plane. First and foremost, we need to stop this body shaming nonsense. Now, it may come as a shock when you watch your favorite actor, actress, singer, performer gain weight at a moment's notice, like you haven't seen them for 5 or 6 years and all of a sudden they explode in weight. That's not body shaming, that's concern. If you've seen, trying to think of an actor that's really thin, typically thin. So, okay, I got you. So let's take Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is well in his 60s. He's on the lankier side. He might be a little bit bigger than he was when he was in the original Jurassic Parks. But at the same time, he's still very much a lanky man, right? If we manage to see Jeff Goldblum in the last Jurassic Park, and then all of a sudden, the next time we see that dude, he's either Brock Lesnar or he is Biggie Smalls, we're going to be concerned either way. Because, dude, you've been gone a year. We haven't seen your face in over a year. And all of a sudden you look like, excuse me, but Chris Hemsworth? Out of nowhere? Or you looking like Biggie Smalls out of nowhere? That's not normal. That's concerning. What's going on with you that you went through a dramatic shift like that? It doesn't apply to women the same way. And until we begin to understand that body shaming, especially women, does not work out in your favor, you cannot be the best you. Guys, that's my time. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt. Let's get back to it. Hold on. I didn't even get to start my show the right way. Hold on. Let's go.